Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a question many of us probably think about. What really makes a country peaceful?
Right.
We've got some really compelling sources here looking deep into the Global Peace Index for 2024.
Mhm.
And our mission really is to pull out the key insights for you, help you quickly grasp what builds up or, breaks down a nation's tranquility.
Yeah, we'll be looking at how this index actually ranks the nations. It considers crucial things like violence levels, crime, obviously, but also political stability, military involvement.
All those factors.
Exactly. It's an incredibly rich set of data. And honestly, it offers some maybe surprising takeaways about what peace really looks like. It's not just about the absence of war.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the good news, maybe. The top 10 most peaceful countries, according to the 2024 index.
Right.
And what's striking here, I think, isn't just who they are, but when you look at them as a group, some fascinating patterns start to emerge.
Precisely. You look at countries like Iceland, Denmark, Ireland,
Mhm.
they're consistently up there.
Always at the top. Yeah.
And what stands out is, well, their deep social cohesion, often their strategic choice to be neutral on the world stage.
Absolutely. Like Iceland, number one, right? It's held that top spot since what, 2008?
Yeah, since 2008.
And the data keeps pointing to its incredibly low crime rates and notably no standing military.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case study in prioritizing peace differently.
Totally unique. And then close behind.
Denmark's number 2. Recognized for its high political stability, predictable leadership, smooth transition,
Stable ground.
and a strong rule of law. That sense that the legal system works and people trust it. Then Ireland at 3rd, noted for its neutral foreign policy and very low domestic conflict.
All right, keep going down the list. New Zealand's fourth.
4th, yeah, highlighting a harmonious multicultural society. Different groups coexisting peacefully, minimal friction.
Which is not easy.
Not at all. Then Austria at 5th, showing peaceful governance, low internal conflict consistently.
Right, and Singapore is interesting at sixth.
Singapore is, yeah, it's a bit of a unique case. Its peace is often linked to, well, strict laws, a remarkably low crime rate,
Mm-hmm.
and a stable economy. That generally means a higher standard of living, less social unrest, perhaps. It's a different model for achieving peace.
A different path. And then we have Portugal at seventh.
Portugal, yeah. Shows how a peaceful transition, in their case from dictatorship, plus a focus on low violence, can really pave the way for, well, tranquility.
Okay.
Slovenia's 8th, consistently stable, politically peaceful borders.
Right.
And Switzerland, 9th, famous for its neutrality, obviously, and just high overall safety.
Right, the classic neutral country.
Exactly. And rounding out the top 10 is Canada, recognized for its strong multiculturalism, again, low homicide rate, and a generally open society.
So quite a diverse group, geographically and culturally.
Definitely. But you see those threads starting to connect them.
Okay, so let's pull on those threads. If we step back from the specific countries, what are the big overarching characteristics? What does the GPI data say truly defines peace in these nations?
Yeah, what are the common traits?
What enables them to get to this high level?
Well, what's fascinating is how these top performers really embody these fundamental traits the Global Peace Index identifies as crucial. It's really about building a resilient society, not just, the absence of active war.
Okay, so low violent crime seems obvious, right? But is there something behind that? What does the GPI suggest drives that consistency beyond just, say, having good police?
Well, it seems it's not just about the policing itself. The data points towards things like robust social safety nets, high social cohesion. When people feel secure, they have access to good education, good health care, and this is crucial. They trust their institutions.
Right, that trust factor again.
Exactly. Then violent crime tends to naturally recede. It's more proactive peace building, maybe, not just reacting with law enforcement.
Interesting. So it's the underlying stability.
Yes. And linked to that, these nations tend to have strong, stable, democratic governance, predictable leadership, smooth power transitions, a public that generally trusts the government, that minimizes the kind of internal power struggles that can easily spark conflict.
And you mentioned earlier that combination, strong law enforcement but paired with high community trust. How does that work?
That's vital. It means citizens tend to see law enforcement as protectors, not, oppressors.
Okay.
And that high trust actually helps prevent and solve crime because communities are more willing to cooperate, report things. It fosters an environment where conflicts get resolved before they escalate.
Makes sense.
And then there's that other piece of Many of these nations are neutral internationally.
Yeah, that keeps coming up. And lower military spending, too.
Generally, yes. Lower levels of military expenditure compared to others.
So that raises the chicken and egg question, doesn't it? Is that lower military spending and the neutrality a cause of their peace? Or is it an effect? Like, are they peaceful because they don't spend on military? Or can they afford not to spend because they're already peaceful?
Huh. Yeah, the classic question. The index seems to suggest it's probably a bit of both. It's interactive.
Okay.
Countries that actively choose neutrality often avoid getting tangled up in external conflicts, which obviously lowers their risk of war. That seems causal.
Right.
But their already peaceful and stable domestic situation also allows them to consistently prioritize social spending, education, healthcare over huge military budgets.
So it feeds itself.
It really seems like a reinforcing cycle, yeah. Peace fosters the conditions that allow for more peace.
Okay. But like any scale, there's always the other end. And the GPI also, quite starkly, shows us the nations where peace is, well, incredibly elusive.
Yes, unfortunately. The sources list countries like Afghanistan, Yemen, Syria, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, among the least peaceful in 2024.
A grim list. And beyond just the names, what are the specific devastating factors that unite these nations at the bottom? What's driving that lack of peace?
Overwhelmingly, they're gripped by ongoing internal conflicts, civil wars, often made much worse by severe terrorism.
Right.
You see profound systemic political instability, then collapsed governments, widespread corruption.
Total breakdown.
Yeah, combined with just pervasive humanitarian crises. Basic needs, food, water, safety, are desperately lacking for huge numbers of people. It's really a stark mirror image of those positive traits we just talked about.
So the absence of those foundations
Directly correlates with extreme conflict and suffering. It underscores how vital those building blocks are.
So wrapping this up then, what does this deep dive into the Global Peace Index 2024 offer you, the listener, trying to make sense of our complex world?
Well,
I mean, for me, it's a powerful reminder that peace is so much more than just stopping wars, isn't it? It's like this dynamic built environment, an intricate ecosystem, really, forged from stability, that deep community trust we talked about, and just consistent investment in people's well-being.
yeah, and I think this leaves us with a really critical challenge, or maybe a question. If these are the characteristics of peace, how do we actually foster them where peace is fragile? But also, maybe just as important, how do we ensure the resilience of these already peaceful societies? How do they stand up against, global pressures, internal shifts? What's the secret to making peace last?
That is something to keep pondering, for sure. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
Thank you.
We hope this has given you maybe a richer understanding of what truly makes our world tick and how peace is both built and hopefully maintained.